All right, today what we're going to do is we've got to go get a piece of equipment for the cattle. It's getting ready to be single digits here in just a few days, and we've got to get something to help them with that. Well, I believe we may have got a drought buster type rain over the last couple of weeks now. These, make sure I'm driving right here, these creeks are rolling. And, we are headed over to the farm right now, or one of the farms. We have a couple of properties, and we have a hay field, but we're going over here right now to where the cows are at the moment. This water, it isn't over the bridge yet, but you can tell it's fairly rolling here. So anyway, we're got a little surprise piece of equipment that we need, or a surprise thing that we need for the cattle on the back, and I'll let you see it here in just a bit. I can hear all the usual suspects over here. They're probably gonna be a little happy to see me, I think. Wow, it is wet down in here. Wet, wet, wet. Cows are bellering. A lot of green over here for these heifer calves. The Mean Girls Club, as I like to call them. They got boy, we're driving in a lot of mud. Glad we got four-wheel drive. We got to make it out into the big cow pasture with this little trailer. There they come. Yeah. Yeah. See if I can get this trailer in here. I see deer up in the woods. Back in there. Let's see if I can get these guys to kind of move for me. Yep, there's deer back there in those woods. I see them walking through the woods up there and there. You probably can't see it on the GoPro, but they're there. Several of them. Probably 10 or 12 of them. Oh no, move. Go. Yeah. 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 We have got a bale feeder. So we've got one bale feeder down there, and it looks like they've already eat all their hay out of it. And we just put hay out a couple of days ago, so they're getting with it right now. I guess they've about eat everything else that they can eat out here, but they're all doing real well. And hey, Twinny, hey girl. Anyway, she's looking, she's going, is there something on there I can eat? And there's Danny, of course, looking great as always. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get this off here and we're going to put her together. So got a kind of a flat spot here, and I think this will be a good spot to put it together. We're going to do a little time lapse putting this together. All right, it is completed. It's all put together. Looks like it's a KFS brand. Pretty sturdy. A lot of work for feeding the cows. We've got, like I said, we've got to get them taken care of for the cold weather that's coming in. It's coming in, and so I need to be able to put 2 bales out here for them on this side. A lot of people are going to ask, well, why don't you just roll the bales out? Well, I've done that in the past. My experience is they waste about 60% of the hay by tromping around on it and you know, defecating on it and peeing on it and stuff. So yeah, they're down there in the pond right now, getting them a drink, eating some of that wheat and ryegrass that I got growing out here. But what they'll do is they waste it here. So I found that if I put it in a skirted round bale feeder and set it somewhere, they'll eat just about 85–90% of it. So I still get a little bit of waste, and you can't hardly keep from it because they pull it out and, you know, they stand around on it and stuff like that. But this has been the best way that I've found so far without welding up something. I don't have that access to a welder out here. So don't have a portable welder, don't have any of that stuff, so I have to do what I can do with bolting stuff together. So anyway, let's put this thing out here and put a bale in it. before I put this out, I want to go down and look and see how much of that other bale they have left. See if I want to feed down there or up here. Okay, this is exactly why I use skirted hay rings. This hay ring right here, part of the skirt has come off, and you can see how much they have pulled out that bottom right there and just wasted right here. There's still a lot of hay in there, so I guess my plan, and you can see where there's still a skirt, very little hay comes out of this thing. But they pull out, I'd say they're pulling a, you know, easily a quarter of the hay out of this and wasting it. So what I am going to do is I am going to fix this with the, as I said before, I don't have a welder out here, so I've got to fix it the way I can fix it. So I think I'm going to bring that there hay ring down here and put it over this, move this hay ring out of the way, take it up there and work on it, and then I'll bring it back, and I'll set it up on the hill for the next bale. So I'm going to take this bale back up the hill because I don't want to, I'll waste it. If I put it out here, it will be wasted, because they will tromp it into this mud. So let me go back up here and set this bale back off and get that hay ring and bring it down. Move hay rings. Gentle and slow. Perfect. They'll save a bunch of it. Well, I was gonna fix this hay ring right here today, and I thought I grabbed everything from my house, of course, and I didn't grab my drill. So I've got everything else to fix it. I'll come back tomorrow and I'll fix it, and I'll put it in this video. So anyway, we're going to put that side back on. It is laying right there. All right, I am back. It's the next day, and I'm going to fix bell feeder today. So have my drill, screws. So let's get in here and get this fixed. Oh, all the deer were back there again whenever I pulled up. A big herd back in there. Anyway, 822. Oh, my Joy gates. Always messing with gates. Not. Just let that sit there. All right. Hey, girls. Hey, girl. Hey, Danny. What are you doing, Danny? 24. All right, there's the hay feeder that we're going to be working on. Here's the piece of metal we need for that. I need to get this out without getting electrocuted here. Oh. So right through the, all right. Yeah, this fell off in one of my other videos. I didn't even see it happen until it, I didn't even notice it happened until I watched my own video. Yeah, girl. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get back. All right. All right. Set this up right here. The upside. Mercy, that stuff was tough. This steel that they've made this frame out of is a lot thicker than what they make it out of nowadays. I see that it's rusted through in areas, But where it's not rusted, that is heavy, heavy duty. It's not like the little flimsy pipe that they put on them nowadays, the little thin wall pipe. This is actual, that thing is there. Now of course these skirts, they're real thin and they rust out over time. But this one, we can get some more use out of. We can definitely use it the rest of this winter. So what I've done is I've just put it back on there. Those screws do not go through to the inside. They just go right inside there and stop. So they're not going to be catching their jaw on them whenever they're coming back out of it. So, all right, we've got this one done. Let's set it over here and let's feed a bale. All right, girls, we're gonna have to move because I got to get in here. Come on, let's move, let's move. Let me take this hot wire loose. Oh. All right. Okay. All right, we got the hot wire. Peel it out here. Go on. This one right over here. Try to keep them up out of the mud as much as we can. It's been pretty muddy. So we're going to feed them here on this high spot. I don't know who doesn't like to watch cattle eat. I've always thought it was pretty fascinating myself. I just love to watch them graze. But, you know, they've got their bale and they're all happy right now. I'm going to go down and check on the other bale that we left yesterday. You know, we had a partial bale. We put that brand new hay that bale ring on it, and I want to go down there and see how much of that they've eaten, see what's left. And so yeah, let's go check that out and see what's left on that other bale down there. All right, I'm over here at this other ring that we just assembled and put over this bale yesterday, and you can see this is what they have left of the hay that was here. A lot of this was outside and they had already trampled it and messed around in it and stuff like that. There is a little bit left in the ring itself, and I suppose if they eat that other one up, they'll probably come down here and start eating this one too. But they have, you know, whenever they have a good skirted bale ring, they tend to waste a lot less hay. I have fed these cattle where you have we've rolled it out. I've also fed them in, you know, where we just took a bale out and set it in a field, and it's unbelievable how much they'll waste. So we get very little waste off these rings, especially whenever we have a complete ring, whenever it's not jacked like the one that we had. I've wasted more hay than I care to already. And hay right now, for those who don't know, those bales of hay that I feed, I'm trying to feed them every 3 days, but as soon as the weather turns cold, I'll probably be feeding 2 every 3 days. Those are about $120 a piece right now because of the drought that we had here in Oklahoma and Texas and Kansas and all around. So with that drought, that caused hay to be very, very, very expensive. We luckily got in on a hay meadow from whenever we bought the cattle. We took on the hay meadow as well on another property that that's where they were getting the hay for these cattle. And we have made an agreement with the fellow with the hay meadow, and I'll do some dozer work, some money will exchange hands, and we'll be able to keep that hay meadow. So we'll have hay. Now it's just finding somebody to, you know, keep getting it baled. And we've got some very, very good friends of ours that at least will do one cutting for us, and hopefully in the future maybe we can make an agreement and get 2 cuttings off of it. That would be great, because we have to cut that field twice a year. That's part of the agreement with the landowner. So anyway, the old tractor's back up and rolling somewhat. Still got some leaky seals in the front there and stuff like, but the cylinders are all good. The cylinders are great. It's just got some leaky wheel cylinder right now, so I've got to get that repaired. But that's probably going to be a springtime project now, because this thing it's full-time hay feeding duty right now. Okay, this little addendum to the video is to show bale wastage in the repaired feeder, bale feeder. So what we've got is we've got that repaired bale feeder right here, and there's very little wastage. This isn't much at all. So they have wasted very, very little of their hay. They've scooted this bale feeder over some, but you know, most of the hay is still in there. It's very little on the outside. You know, there's some. The bale feeder actually used to sit about where I am. So that would be the outside ring of it right there. You can see all the tracks. And of this hay, they've wasted very little. So if you don't have a skirted bale feeder or any other way of feeding your cattle inside of something, if you just put the bale on the ground, if you just take the bale out and you just set it up somewhere without any kind of a ring, you're going to get a lot of wastage. It just is what it is. There's no way to get around it, because they're going to tromp it, they're going to poop on it, and they're going to ruin it. If you roll it out and you don't have enough cattle, like we don't have enough. We have 6 mamas, 3 young calves in here, and Danny the bull. So we don't have enough cattle to go in and clean a round bale up in a day like you need. You need, you know, if you're going to feed, roll it out, you're going to need, you know, upwards of 30 head of cattle in order to do that successfully and not waste a lot of hay. We don't have that. So since we don't have that, we have to, you know, use round bale feeders. where these cattle came from, they used to set the hay just on the ground, and they wasted a tremendous amount of hay. And hay is, in Oklahoma right now, is people trying to find it. For prairie hay like what I sell buy, it's like $120 a bale. And for something that you're going to feed every 2 to 3 days, that's just, you can't afford to waste it. You've got to get as much bang for your buck as you can out of it. So anyway, I'm real happy. Repaired bale feeder. The skirt, here's the skirt I put back on right there. Still holding up, and the cattle aren't wasting the hay. What's left in this thing right now is what they call that old we call broom's hedge and stuff like that. It's they wouldn't eat it, you know, and there's not a lot in there. I mean, on the ground out here and in there, there's very little hay. So they haven't wasted hardly any. If you like what you see on the videos, like and subscribe. We try to bring your content as often as we can, and we really enjoy doing this. So, and I'll continue to do so. So, anyway, everybody have a blessed day, blessed Sunday afternoon. Thank you.